right, chapter 3 and chapter 4, that's what you guys had to complete. This is, I want to say, our third midterm review. The last one you have is chapter 5. Please get that one completed because it's information we probably haven't seen since the start of the second quarter. So it was a while ago. So definitely have this finished. Alright, this is classify the pairs of angles as corresponding, alternate interior, alternate exterior, and consecutive. So when you're looking at this, looking at the graph, you have information on here. So when you're looking at 1 and 8, these two angles are considered alternate exterior angles. So number 1 is alternate exterior. It's on the outside. Number 2, 2 and 6, those are corresponding. Three and 5, those are consecutive angles. And looking at 4 and 5, those are alternate interior. They're on opposite sides, but they're on the interior. 5, 3 and 7 is corresponding. Three and 6 is considered alternate interior. Alright, looking at the next ones, find the value of x. These angles are corresponding angles. And we need to know that corresponding angles are congruent, so x equals 140. Did not ask me to add all that information, but we need to know it, so I'd rather you guys have it on your review. Looking at number 8, these are alternate interior angles. And alternate interior angles are also congruent. So for this one, you're going to solve, set them equal to each other. 18x minus 22 equals 50. So add 22 to both sides. You're going to get 18x equals 72. Divide by 18. X equals 4. Number 9. These are alternate exterior. Alternate exterior angles are also congruent, so set them equal to each other. 4x plus 11 equals 107. Subtract 11 from both sides. 4x equals 96. Divide both sides by 4. X equals 24 is your answer for 9. Alright, looking at 10, find the value of x that makes M and N parallel. So same thing, we need to know what is congruent, what is supplementary. These are considered consecutive angles. And consecutive angles are supplementary. God bless you. Supplementary means adds to equal 180. So for this one, I'm just going to subtract 180 minus 137. I'm going to get 43. So x equals 43 degrees. These are corresponding. Corresponding angles are congruent, so just set these equal. 128 minus x equals x. Add x to both sides of my equal sign. I'm going to get 128 equals 2x. Divide both sides by 2. X equals 64 degrees. Number 12. I can't just classify this one, so there's information I need to know. These angles right here are vertical angles, so this is also 73 degrees. And now I can use something I know. You didn't necessarily have to move it there. You could have subtracted from 180 to find the one to the right. It's up to you how you wanted to solve it, but that's how I'm going to solve it. So now because these are on the interior, same side interior, they're considered consecutive angles. And consecutive angles are supplementary, meaning they add to equal 180. So I'm going to go ahead and solve that. Adding them to equal 180, I have x plus 17 plus 73 equals 180. Combine my like terms, I'm going to get x plus 90 equals 180. Subtract 90, you could kind of know this one off the top of your head. X is going to equal 90 degrees. All right, questions on the first 12 so far? Okay. All right, find the slope of the line that passes through the point. So you need to know your slope formula. So I'm going to go ahead and write it here. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So going ahead and doing 13. If you're looking at this one and you kind of know the answer, that's fine. You didn't necessarily have to work it out. Why? Because they have the same x value. However, working it out, solving it, you're going to get 4 minus -1 over 3 minus 3. This is going to become a plus sign. I'm going to get 5 over 0. It is not a zero slope because they have the same x value. So showing you an example, here's my axis, my x and y axis. It's saying that x is at 0.3. So let's say here is 3. This is my x value. Your graph is going to be going up and down. So with that being said, your slope is going to be undefined. It's not a zero slope, it is undefined. So looking at 14, still doing the same thing using the slope formula, I'm going to have -3 minus 7 over -1 minus 2. I'm going to get -10 over -3. And your answer should be positive 10 over 3. Going to 15. Again, still using the formula, I'm going to have 12 minus 5 over -6 minus 0. It's going to give me 7 over -6, which is the same thing as saying -7 over 6. You could have left it anyway. All right. 16, 17, and 18, it says write an equation of the line that passes through the given point. P has the given slope, so it's going to be a parallel line. I'm still using the same slope. So what you have to do for this one is you have to plug it in. You have y equals mx plus b, and I'm trying to solve for that b. So I'm going to take what they gave me, plug it in, and write an equation. So looking at 16, I'll do 16 right here. My y is 4 equals my m is 3 times my x plus b, and then that's what I'm trying to solve. So I'm going to get 4 equals -6 plus b. Add 6 to both sides. 10 equals b. So my equation for 16 is going to be y equals, using the same slope, plus 10. All right, 17. Let's see if I could squeeze it right here. I'm going to have my y, which is 12, equals my m, which is -0.2. We'll do it this way. -0.2 times my x, which is 7, plus my b. Solving this, I'm going to get 12 equals 1 or -1.4 plus b. Add it to both sides. I'm going to get b equals 13.4. So writing it as an equation, I'm going to get y equals negative 0.2x plus 13.4 is my answer. All right, looking at 18, doing the same thing. So my y is 5, y equals m, which is negative 8, y equals mx, which is 3, plus b. I'm going to get 5 equals negative 24 plus b. Add 24 to both sides of my equal sign. b equals 29. So my answer, my equation is going to be y equals negative 8x plus 29 is my answer. All right, God bless you. The second section says write an equation of a line that passes through point P and is perpendicular to the line with the given equation. So when you are writing something perpendicular, don't forget you have to use opposite reciprocal slope. So the slope here is 2. My new slope is going to be m equals negative 1 over 2. So that's what I'm going to use when I'm solving. So I'm still using the y equals mx plus b, but the m is going to be my perpendicular slope. So I'm going to have 3 equals negative 1 over 2 times 1 plus b. I'm going to get 3 equals negative 1 over 2 plus b. Add 1 over 2. And this one should have been pretty easy. 3.5 equals b. Or you could have written 7 over 2 is fine. So my answer for this one is going to be y equals negative 1 over 2x plus 3.5. All right, looking at 20, same thing. First thing I have to do is find my perpendicular slope, which is going to be y equals 1. Opposite reciprocal of negative 1 is just 1. So same thing as before, plugging in what we have. Or you know what, for this one you don't have to necessarily plug, you do not plug it in. If you were to plug it in, you wouldn't get the correct answer because you're solving it. So for this one, we need to understand that if I were to graph this, here's my coordinate plane. My point is where my point is 0, 2. 0, 2 is right here. Let's just call it right here. Here's 1, here's 2. Is it already on my y-axis? Yes. So that means that is already my y-intercept point. So looking at it, my equation is already given to me. Y equals my new slope x plus 2. Okay, this is what your answer should look like. Why? Because they already give me the point that is passing through my y-intercept. So that would be my answer. You don't necessarily have to put the 1 there. That would be fine if you just put y equals x plus 2. All right, looking at 21, it is not written in slope-intercept form. This is not written in slope-intercept form, so I'm going to go ahead and change it. Changing it to y equals, I'm going to get negative x minus y equals 4. Subtract x from both sides. Negative y equals negative x plus 4. And you're changing the sign of everything. So you now have y equals x minus 4. Now I can go ahead and plug it in. My opposite reciprocal slope is just going to be y equals negative 1. And for this one, plugging in, I'll do it at the side. I'm going to have negative 3 equals negative 1 times 2 plus b. Negative 3 equals negative 2 plus b. Add 2 to both sides. b is going to equal -1. So my answer for this one is going to be y equals -x minus 1. Do not get this one confused with the one written at the top. All right, 22, 23, 24, they're telling me that they are perpendicular, so that means they're 90 degrees. So these are pretty easy. For this one, all you have to do is subtract 68 minus subtracting it from 90. Your answer is going to be 22. So x equals 22 degrees. Same thing here, adding these, 51 plus 3x equals 90. You're then going to get 3x equals 39. Divide both sides by 3. X equals 13 degrees. And 24, same thing, adding everything, equals 90 degrees. 9x plus 9 equals 90 degrees. Subtract a 9 from both sides of my equal sign. 9x equals 81. X equals 9. All right, questions on chapter 3. Questions, comments, concerns. All right, looking at 4. I kind of wrote these here just to save me some time. So looking at it, all you have to do is count. So I'm going to start from this point. These are going by 2s. Left and right is your x values. If you're going to the right, it's positive. So 2, 4, 5, I'm going to point C. And then I'm going to go down. So far I'm going to the right, 5. Now I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going down, it's going to be a -6. So that is how your rules should be written. You should have your x and your y's, and then your x plus 5. Please do not just put plus 5. You have to have x plus 5 and y minus 6. Don't just put the plus or the minus by itself. All right, looking at number 4 and 5, all you have to do is plug in information. Plug in information to what's given. All right, plugging in. I'm going to have -2, what I have and what was given, 4 plus 3. Solving it, my new coordinate, don't forget it has to have that apostrophe, is going to be -6, 7. Same thing here, I have that -10. Writing the rule, what they gave me, 5 plus 3. H with the apostrophe, I'm going to get -14, 8. All right, looking at the next one, it says graph the triangle and its image after a reflection in the given line. So the original has to be graphed, which I did graph just to save time, and the new image. Keep in mind it's telling me it is reflecting over the y-axis. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the y-axis. My y-axis is right here. I'll highlight it so we can see where it is. This is my y-axis. So my reflection is going to reflect it. Because this is on my y-axis, E is going to stay right there. D is 2 units from my reflection, so I also have to put it 2 units over here, connecting those dots. And then E is 3, again, 1, 2, 3, it has to be 3 as well. So here's my new C, and this is kind of what it should look like. Let me move this on the other side. That is what your graph should look like for number 1. All right, number 2, it is reflecting where x equals 8. X equals 8. So that means I'm going to look at my graph. Where does your x value equal 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right here. So I'm going to draw my line. And then I'm going to go ahead and graph my reflection. E is 1, so E also has to be 1. D is 1, 2, we'll call this 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. D is going to be right here. Connecting those dots. And then C is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 right here. It's a little bit on the other one. But this is what your graph should, for the most part, look like. All right, looking at number 3, it says it's reflecting over the x-axis. So again, my x-axis is right here. And I am doing the same thing as before, but now I'm going by 2s because the one I used is going by 2s. My n is going to stay the same. M is right here. Draw it a little better. K, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And L is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right here. So again, this is kind of how it should look. And then number 4, it's where y equals -1. So I'm going to find where my y is -1. Y is -1, which is right here. And same thing as before, I'm just counting. This point is going to stay L. This point right here is going to be my M. And is 1, 2, 3, 4.5. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. This is where my N is. And then last is K. Or you know what? I did not do this one by 2s. Let me fix this. By 2s. Where y is -1, it's by 2, so it's actually in half right here. It's actually where my M is. So let me fix it. Yeah, I'll go back. Give me a second. This is where my L should be, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then K is 1, 2, 3.5. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. All right, this is what it should look like. Because I did my graph by 2s, it may look a little different than yours, but you should have those L's overlapping, and your M should be directly on the axis, or whatever they're asking you for, that -1. So just double check that one. All right, let me just do this one, and then I will go back if you need. All right, for this one, the rotation, I use the rule, and I'm going to change the coordinates so it's just a little easier to graph. So the coordinates for your 90-degree rotation is you're flipping them, but you're changing the sign of your y. So flipping my numbers, 2, 3, and I'm changing the sign, which is going to be +2, -3. This is going to stay 0, 0. Then my x was 5. This is going to become now a -2. This is going to stay -1. This is going to become -6. So graphing it, I have the original graph here. Again, this one is going by 2s. So just graphing what I have. This is going to stay U. T is 2, -3. So I'm going to go +2, down 3. Right here. T, and then I'm going to go ahead and do W, or we'll do V. I have -2, +5, 2, 4, 5, which is right here. This is my V. Connecting my dots. And then W is -6, 2, 4, 6, -1, which is down here. And this is what your graph should have looked like. Do we have any questions on these? So let me zoom in for you. This is, for the most part, what it should have looked like. All right, these are also graphing. I'm going to kind of go through these. I already graphed the originals. They're just asking for the transformation for 1, 2, and 3. So for this, my transformation is going to the right 4, going down 2. So I'm going to do that same pattern for all of these. Go to the right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down 2. This is where my B is. Right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down 2. This is where C is going to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. This is where D is going to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. This is where my A is going to be. Okay, so that's for number 1. Number 2, the rule is go to the left 1, down 5. Left 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where my C is going to end up. Left 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where my B is. A is left 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where D is. This is what your graph should look like for number 2. And then number 3, the rule is to the right 3, up 6. So going to the right 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is where your B is going to be. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is where C is. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is what your graph should look like for number 3. All right, 4, 5, 6, and 7, this is a reflection. So number 4, it's telling me to reflect where on the x-axis. So x-axis is right here. Reflecting it's going to be a little off the chart, so that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points away from my reflection. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is going to be where A is. Same thing with B. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 6, 7, 8. This is where B is. C is 8, 9, 10, 11. 8, 9, 10, 11. This is what that graph should look like. Again, it's a little bit off the chart. So this one, what did we say? This one was where X on the x-axis. All right, this one is asking where y equals x. So think of that. If y is 1, x also should be 1. So if you're thinking of where this one goes, it's just a diagonal line straight through the middle. It's a little wonky, but that's kind of what it should look like. And same thing as before. Let me draw it a little better using the pen. Okay. F should go right here. E is going to go right here. And D is going to go right here. So I am still counting, but now I'm just counting from the line diagonally. So this is one box, this is about 2 boxes or a box and a half. This is 2 and this one's also 2. So this is kind of what your graph should look like for number 5. All right, 6 is where x equals 3. So looking at where x equals 3, 1, 2, 3, it is this line right here. And same thing as before, this is where my L is going to go. This is where my M is going to be. This is where my K is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where my J is. Questions on this one? And then the last one, number 7, is where y equals -2. So y equals -2. And then graphing it like before. Here's Q, R, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, S, and P. That's what that one should look like. Any questions on graphing for these? I wrote the rule and I'm going to write the coordinates again just so it's easier for me to graph. So this is a rotation of 90 degrees. For this one, it's going to be -1, 1. This is going to be -4, 2. This is going to be -1, 4. So graphing, this is going by 2s, or sorry, this is going by 1s. Here's A, B, right here, and C, -1, 4. That's what your graph should look like. 15, this is a rotation to 70. Following the rule for this one, it's going to be 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, -1, and -1, -1. So graphing this, D first, D is going to be 2, 3, 4, 1. For EF is 2, -1. And this is -1, -1. And then the last one, rotation of 180. Again, using the rule, plugging in my coordinates. 4, -1, 2, -2, 1, 2, 4, 4. You're just changing the signs for 180. So H is going to go right here. 2, -2, I. J is 1, 2. And K is 4, 4. And that's it for this page. Any questions on these 3? Okay. All right, you guys have one more review, which is just chapter 5. Please complete that, and all of this will be posted on Canvas as well.